In this estate sale video, I show two different things I picked up. Some vintage inside ceramic coated C9 lights. As you know, I like to collect them. And also this Dayton fan, which in this video I totally restore. So you'll see this fan before nastiness, and it was pretty dirty, and after. And so anyway, enjoy the video. If you're not into the lights and into the fans, you can skip through. If you're into the lights and not into the fans, you can just stop after the lights. Anyway, here's the video. Well, I went out estate sailing, and what I got was so nasty I had to vacuum the car out first, but I'll show you before I blow it off with compressed air. You know that's old when it has a 12 instead of a zip code. And the cord is bad, you can clearly see. Right, so we're going to deal with that. It's got multiple speeds from the feel of the switch. The motor needs cleaning, and so we'll fix the cord. And this is a pretty neat little old fan, or big old fan. It says 10 drops of SE10 oil every 3 months. I don't know if that shows up there or not, but what a cool looking old fan. Yeah, I mean, I paid 17 bucks for both these items. Of course, you know, I can't walk away from things like this, so let's go in and see what we have. I'm going to blow this off first, take the lights in, which has some neat old Westinghouse inside ceramic coated bulbs. And if you know me, I like these old vintage lights and old fans and whatnot. Oh, and the bike has been running perfect. Been riding it regularly, and my brother and I took both the bikes out yesterday. So I've put some miles on the bike to where I'm comfortable with it. It starts third kick cold, one kick warm every time, and just runs beautiful. So I think in the next few days, I was going to start tearing it down today, and I'll make a video on just getting that done. So yeah, I was going to start tearing it down today to cosmetically restore it now that it's mechanically set. And a few things I'm going to do. I got to adjust the clutch. Do that when I put it back together. There's just a tiny bit of free play here. I'll adjust that out. The clutch engages almost out, so I'll just have to, you know, little odds and ends, but that's all got to come apart to cosmetically restore it. So I'll fix all that when I put it back together. But I just thought I would throw this in, but there will be a video on tearing that down to paint it. All right, let me get the fan cleaned up. We'll get it in, see if the motor's any good, fix the power cord, whatnot, and go from there. We'll do the lights first on the estate sale, and then we'll do the fan. But yeah, that's a W for the Westinghouse logo. And most of these are inside coated ceramic bulbs. There are a couple sockets that are compromised. You can see like where the thing was missing and somebody screwed it, and plug that's been replaced, it's kind of taped up. A couple taped up sockets, I think mainly because the metal, this thing's missing, so they just taped up the socket. So this wiring I'll probably just throw away, but the bulbs will be good. And this was in it, Kmart. The packaging is kind of stuff I like. This has a Sears. Oh, they're old white clips for the gutter. Interesting. And another set of lights, and this wiring all looks good. There's a loose bulb right here. Look at that, the socket looks like new. These are the good bulbs. They say Japan on the base. These style of bulbs last forever. There's another one here. That one's got the ceramic coating coming off. I think that's a G, but I can't tell. But anyway, we'll set it there. All right, let me get them out. We'll go through them. There was 3 loose bulbs in the box. This has one bulb missing. I don't know if it's because that terminal, I'm going to bend that terminal up and then I'll check these bulbs. So let me get a little screwdriver and I'll bend that up. Some bulbs push that bottom contact way down. But anyway, I unraveled this enough to where hopefully it looks like I need to unravel a little bit more to reach the plugs. So we'll get another ravel or two off here and see if it looks like I'm going to have to take another one off. Yeah. There we go. Alright, well, it looks like there's 1, 2, 3 lamps out, and sometimes they're just loose in the sockets, or the socket's bad. So oh, that one just came on. So see, yeah, so it's not always the bulbs that are bad. Oops, that one's bad. Off to the bin. So you put it in a different socket, it works. And so that socket's missing the thing in the bottom. So this light set's garbage too. That bulb's good, so I'll put it in here with these. These are new bulbs. You can tell the sockets of the bases have never been screwed into anything. Look at that, they're like new. So I'm not even going to take these ones out of the package and test them because I know they'll work. These vintage Kmart lights. And this one says USA on it, but I don't see any other names on it. And I would say the bulb's bad because that's a couple sockets. Is GE. Let me take one out of a working socket and try them in a socket that has a lamp illuminated in it. Ooh, that's a warm one. We'll use this socket. That's a warm one too. These get hot when they're summertime. It's hot outside and it's summer here. Bad. Bad. Yeah, these were the bulbs that were loose in the box. Okay, so they're all bad. That explains why they're loose in the box. And all these work, including that green. Alright, so those bulbs all illuminate that are in that string there. So there's, good 20 good bulbs. Put that back in the box. I'll put it with my horde of lights that, oh my god, if I went through that one day. I shouldn't even buy these anymore, as many as I have, but there's the part of that socket that was bad. And anyway, yeah, I should just stop buying these altogether, but I love them. I love these old C9 lights. How many do I need? I have enough to light up the whole neighborhood and last me probably 2 or 3 lifetimes, but I still buy them. Alright, here goes nothing. Hopefully that everything doesn't go dark. Whoops. Well, that bulb, we know why that blew out, right? So let me get a pair of needle nose and get that socket. Did you miss it? I hope not. I hope you got it sparking. Alright, let me get that broken bulb out and we'll go from there. Out. Let's try it one more time. See what happens, right? There's quite a few bulbs out, but it could be the sockets and not the bulbs. Whoops, something else just... Yeah, I think these are some bad bulbs. This is one of those Westinghouse ceramic coated. You can see the little W there. I like the way the color is on these. It looks super awesome. Yeah, I just like the pattern of the paint. That green's a Westinghouse. So I'm only going to use this set for parts. Yep, no good. We know that socket was good. When I see the whole set blink when I move a socket, that tells me the wiring is garbage. I don't want to handle that metal clip. Garbage. Well, we know that one's garbage now. It just broke free from the socket and sparked. I think these ones that aren't illuminated are burned out because they are screwed into decent sockets. That one, the wiring's loose on it, and the bulb itself. Yeah, that one was just loose. So all in all, we had 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bad bulbs out of all these lamps. So I'll take that bulb out. I got my needle nosers here still, so we can kind of... Oh, alright. Well, it wasn't broke free from the base. Maybe the bulb is good. Try it in a different socket. Alright, let's see if the room goes dark and or if the... Where'd the plug-in go? Let's see what happens. If it sparks or... Nope, definitely a bad bulb. Alright, so the wiring is... Both sets of wiring I'll probably throw away. They both have compromised sockets. And as much of this as I have, I don't need the wiring. So I'll throw the bad bulbs away. And eventually I'll take the bulbs out of the sockets and put them in... I have tons of boxes and stuff. The boxes for the 25 bulbs and the boxes for the, like these, and I'll fill them up. So right now it's just going back in that box until I can get at it. So this fan is still pretty nasty even after blowing it off, but it's a lot cleaner. And this will clean up like new. The chrome's in good shape, and it's obviously 1, 2, 3 speed. But let's take this can off, get this off, and get the cord repaired. See if this thing works before we go any further. There's no point in restoring a fan that has a bad motor. So let's see what we can do here. Let me get a screwdriver and just take these screws out here and get this off. Yeah, I don't know if this shows up. They must have had some type of animal at shed, man. The animal here, and I cleaned a lot of it off. I blew a lot off outside, but yeah, it's pretty nasty. I think I'll take the grill off and hose it off, and if the motor works. Once I find out the motor works, we'll restore the whole thing. I'll clean the grill up, the blade, the motor housing, paint this all up. I think it needs to be welded there and there where it goes together. They've kind of taped it, so this was probably 3 separate pieces of stand when it came in the box. A long screwdriver here works pretty good on these screws. Then I just use my needle nosers to pull it out of there. Nothing like working on a fan. Why we got a fan going over there. It's just running on low right now, but it's a warm one out there, so that's why I got it on. Close the garage doors. The garage stays cool if I keep it closed in the heat of summer. And one more screw, and then we can take a look at the motor and the wiring, see if the motor is good. Hopefully it is. It's just basic 3-speed box fan motor, I think, under there. But we'll soon find out, won't we? Alright, that screws out. Alright, let me get the cover off the motor. I gotta have both hands. I gotta remove the switch to get the case off. Won't lift because of the wiring. So anyway, I pulled this out of the switch so I can clean that up easily. And now I'm undoing the nut, and I used an estate sale wrench to loosen the nut on my estate sale fan. Alright, let's see if this thing comes off now. There we go. Alright, let's put a new power cord on it. Look at that old cloth wiring that was originally on there. You know that's old when it's got cloth wiring. Yeah, the original power cord looked like it was even probably cloth. So this is a transformer that changes the motor speed. Let me clean that up a little bit. We'll hook up a power cord, power to it, and see if it goes. Look at these switches, very, very basic. That's off. That needs cleaning. We'll give that a clean too. So that works good too. That's the off position there. Looks like there's no wire there. So maybe this is only a 2-speed. Oh, right here. So we'll solder that back on. All right. This wiring's in rough shape. I didn't even peel. I just pulled all that off my finger, but you can see, I don't know if it shows up all the cracks in the insulation. But I'm hoping this wiring will work good enough just to see if the motor is good. I resoldered that wire on. I want to clean those contacts. I'm going to clean this up because I'm going to put it back on to test it, because I'm not going to be holding this to turn it. There's no way. I want to take a chance on getting a shock from that. So let me, this is the neutral, this is the hot, where the black and the white is the way it was wired originally. So that's the way I'm going to wire it again, and I got to run the wires through the grommet, which looks like it needs to be replaced too, but I'm going to clean this up first. Oh, and here's the info on the motor, if any of you know anything about how to decipher that. It says that it's a type 3K, looks like 864. It says oil every 3 months with SAE20, and it's 2.8 amps, and it's number 4A1A, or maybe that's AIA-IU. But anyway, there we go. Let's get a cord hooked up and see if this thing works. Little 4-0 steel wool and some chrome polish. There's some imperfections in it, but that's down. This is up. See my hand smudgy on there, but it says there 10 drops. Number 10 oil every 3 months, and here it says oil every 3 months with SAE20. So I guess number 10 oil is SAE20. But anyway, this is this isn't no cheap tin. This is actually some pretty thick steel, as you can see. It's not a cheap fan by any means. All right, let me get this cord through here and we'll see if this thing powers up. And if it does, we'll get a new, I'll get a new cord and take it all apart and clean everything all up on it. I broke down and went and got new wire. I just couldn't bring myself to even just to test the motor, and if the fan's no good, I'll use this wire. It's 10 feet. It's nothing that'll go to waste. I didn't get a plug because I think I have plugs, but yeah, this wire just everywhere is just cracked. Everywhere on it. Doesn't matter where you do that, it splits open. And that's opened up. The insulation on the white and the black inside there just disintegrates as you touch it. I was trying to take some off the end and it was just falling apart in my hands, so I got new cord. And this wire here is all in good shape, so we'll just strip this and solder them on and hope for the best. Hopefully this, well, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work. It's clean. I did put 10 drops of this in the motor, and it says right on this SAE20, and that's what it says right there. So I put exactly what it requires in the motor, 10 drops in each oiler. So I'm hoping. Anyway, let me get these soldered on and we'll go from there. Soldered the wire right to the switch where the original one was. Soldered this. I'm gonna put this shrink tube here over it. And this wire was loose, so I soldered that on. That one was broken, as you saw. I soldered it, and I assume this one's the high speed right here, because it's, I don't know, maybe that's low, I don't know, we'll find out. I think it's high, medium, low, so we'll find out when we go to power it up. But let me shrink wrap this, clean those contacts, and we'll throw it together and try it. Yeah, the windings are a little blackened looking. Hopefully they're good. Hopefully. We'll find out, won't we? Found a plug in my hoard of junk. And so we'll get this installed on here. And hopefully this fan will work when I'm done. Hopefully. Hopefully it works. It's such a cool fan. If it does, I'm going to clean the cage and the blade and this and paint it. You know, order some varnish for the motor and take that apart and respray it. There we be. I'll put the little cardboard doohickey on it and we'll give it a try. Well, let's see if it works. First off, we'll plug it in. Well, no sparks or smoke. Let's see what happens. Some serious air. That was high, that's medium, and that's low. Oh, this thing works nice. Super happy. What a neat old fan. Yeah, the low is just a nice speed, nice and quiet. Let me turn the other fan off so we can turn my king of fans off. This is 1, that's 2, 3. Yeah, it really roars. And you can turn the oscillator on and off with that. And off. And off that. I bought this fan maybe in 2008, 2009, somewhere around in there. It was a floor model when I worked at Home Depot. And when they were doing away with the fans for the season, they marked it down like 75%. And I was leaving work and I saw it marked down. I just bought it and I used it in my garage in Savannah. But yeah, the air conditioning window unit's running there, so it's hot out again today. So you're not gonna probably hear that over this. This is absolutely dead silent. You don't hear it at all. There's no sound coming from that. That's medium. Speed it up a little bit, not a lot. And that's high. And that moves quite a bit of air. What a neat old fan. I love it. I'm going to use this. This I'm not going to get rid of. See how long it takes to shut off. Yeah, what a cool fan. Yeah, it's all right. Takes a moment to start. It's really quiet. On high you hear it, on medium it's really quiet, and on low you don't hear it at all on low. It's dead silent on low. Alright, I'm going to clean the grill up on it. Maybe I'll show you after I get done cleaning the grill. Now, well, I'll bead blast that frame. You loosen and tighten these and you can change the angle. I'll use this in the basement. I'll definitely use this fan. I can put it at the foot blowing up when I want to air out the basement and stuff. Alright, let me clean the grill. The AC unit shut off, so we'll run it down on low so you can really see how truly quiet this thing is. That's just amazing. I've never had a fan that quiet that moves the amount of air this fan moves. It moves a fair amount of air on low. It's dead silent. can slowly hear it picking up. Still picking up RPM. It sounds like it's at its second speed now. It doesn't sound like it's picking up anymore. And that's full out. Alright, I'm going to get the blade and grill off so we can polish them. Maybe I'll even blast that. Who knows? I don't know if you guys noticed or not in the video, but when I put this cord in, I had a loose knot on the end of it. That's so if it gets tripped on or kicked, it doesn't pull a cord out of the motor or off the switch or anything. You just do that, kind of secures the cord in there. Alright, it looks like there's just 4 nuts down in here that I can probably barely get at, and an Allen screw. One on the, yeah, there's just one on the propeller, which is right there. So let me get the propeller loose and get the grill loose, and we'll get this apart and give it a good, super good cleaning. It looks like this comes separate, so I'll take this part of the cage off first. I think it looks like you just kind of push and lift. I don't know if I can do it one hand if my hands are strong enough, but you can kind of see the way it's designed there. It's designed to come apart. There's another one. So I assume, because you're not going to get this blade through this grill anywhere. The only way that blade's coming off is with the grill separated. So let me get that apart. You can see I took this off, and I can clean it really well now with some, I'm going to use some 4/0 steel wool and chrome polish, and I took this off so I wouldn't damage it. It's already damaged, I don't want to damage it anymore. And I can get the blade off now and get the rest of this apart and cleaned up. There we go, it is 100% apart. Clean these up, clean this up the rest of the way. I think I'm going to bead blast this right now and paint it, and it looks like there are screws in there, and maybe I'll just have to put a little dab of weld in there or something, but we're going to clean that and paint it. It's got rubber feet on this end that are about gone, so maybe they put tape on there to stop it from vibrating. Who knows? But it's so smooth and so quiet, I can't imagine it vibrating. Alright, let me blast that and we'll get this cleaned up while the paint's drying on there. The picture what I'm doing here. I ran through the blast cabinet, as you saw. It cleaned up nice. I took those little rubber feet off, and I'll see if I can get new ones, as there's nothing left of them. This is the little pin thing that goes in the frame, so we'll find some new rubber feet. Maybe I'll put 4 on it. Originally just looks like it had one there and one there, and maybe I'll put one here and one here, but that doesn't need welding. It's not by any means I could beat on it. I'd bend the pipe before I'd separate the joint. Anyway, I'm going to paint that, and I'll choose what color I painted on. I don't have any of that kind of greeny color that was on it, so I'll pick something else that has something like maybe red or something like that, seeing that this is red. I just wish this was in better shape, because the fan will look like new and this will be kind of scratched up. But anyway, let me get this painted and then we'll clean all this mess. And here is the color I chose to paint that base, the frame for it to stand on. There we go, good enough for a fan. I like the red. The red will look nice with it, with the red thing. Let me clean up the blade and the grills. I went out cruising this evening, so I was working on this fan, then I had dinner and took the Beller and went out cruising. It was crazy out on Woodward, tons of cars out cruising. I only did one lap today, but that's still, it's 32 miles. I go all the way up around Pontiac, all the way down to 8 Mile and back, and yeah, I just can't get over how crowded it is already out there. But anyway, I think I was showing what I was doing on this fan before I went cruising. I think I showed that this cage clean and the motor's remounted. It looks pretty good. I think it's just the color of the varnish on those windings. It's just like a dark brown. And but the motor's really clean. And the bearings are tight. And anyway, I was going to put the fan blade on. I cleaned it up a bit. And I think somebody used in the past like a Hirsch cleaner. I don't know if that shows up. Like somebody had sprayed it and like it had even dripped there. Like they sprayed it on, you know. The best thing to clean these things if they're not damaged is just some dish soap and water. And but once they've been like a Hirsch detergent ruins the finish, there's really nothing you can do. I mean, I could probably put them on the buffer and get that out somewhat, but then you take a chance on damaging the blade and then the fan vibrates. So I just kind of, I'm going to use this fan anyway, so I don't really care. I'll show you sometime this video. I go down and I have a old Montgomery airline, and I'll turn it off the oscillator and set it pointing up the steps, and in the summertime it's always really cool in the basement, so it kind of blows that cool air upstairs, helps with the air conditioning bill. And then in the winter time it's sometimes warmer down there, so not always, but sometimes. So we blow it up again, circulates the air around and keeps the basement from getting musty. And so maybe I thought we could set this fan there. It doesn't run all the time, maybe an hour or two here and there, you know, maybe every few days. Haven't run it in a while. We've had it's been hot, so the central air's on. But anyway, yeah, so I just wanted to show that before I reinstall it. Got the front grille cleaned today and threw this in my ultrasonic cleaner, and that cleaned up pretty good, both sides of it. And I threw these plastic knobs because they were super cruddy in the ultrasonic cleaner, and they came out like new. Yeah, and then I found some feet, so I attached those and a new power cord. So I'm going to put the grill back on, we'll call it done. This is the fan I currently use in the basement. It's a Montgomery Ward. You can see it's a 3-speed, and it has a transformer. It's actually on low. I'll turn it to off. It's not plugged in, obviously, but this has a transformer in the base also. You turn the knob all the way up to lock it where you want it so it doesn't oscillate, which is where it's set now, just so it blows straight up the staircase. But yeah, I've had this fan for probably 40 years, and it works great. But I think I'm gonna use that Dayton fan because it's a lot quieter than this. Yeah, look at this thing. Now you can see why I bought it. It's just, what an absolutely awesome fan. And that's a really wide squirrel cage. Let me get my tape measure out here to do some measuring. So the cage itself is 10 inches. From the edge of the motor to the front is a foot. The width of the cage is about 20 inches. The width from knob to knob looks like about 22 inches. And I'm going to guess the blade is probably about 18 inches or so. 18, I guess they would call that a 20-inch fan. But wow, is that a neat fan. I'm so glad this wasn't even in the photos at the estate sale, and I wasn't even, only went because I was in the area where the sale was. And then there's some estate sale over there. They got a lot of old junk. I'm gonna go look. They had the lights and the fan. Yeah, this thing's super neat. Just put it on low. I can't get over the amount of air this thing moves. Yeah, neat fan. So glad I got it. Anyway, if you liked the video, definitely hit that thumbs up icon as it helps. If you like my channel, that 348 engine icon will help you subscribe. And thank you for watching my video.